gateway to East Africa. In a world where media shapes perceptions, one company stands out as a beacon of innovation and excellence. Whether you're seeking expert media support, events planning, mentorship, or corporate media training, East Africa Media Group is your trusted partner every step of the way. From audiovisual production to TV and radio broadcasting.
Right here from
We are your destination for top quality content and services. Our team of talented professionals, from journalists
free and moving well.
To technical specialists, are at the heartbeat of our success. Welcome to East Africa Media Group, where creativity meets expertise and passion drives results.
Africa today faces a range of security challenges, including terrorism, political instability, cyber threats, and conflicts driven by climate change and resource scarcity. These complex issues disrupt societies and slow development, creating an urgent need for coordinated and innovative approaches to peace and stability. As digital threats continue to grow and governance challenges persist, Africa must continue strengthening its security systems to protect its people and foster sustainable growth. Today on In Focus, our focus is on the International Security Conference on Africa that was held for the first time here in Kigali, Rwanda.
Let me start by welcoming you all to Kigali. I want to thank the organizers who made this conference possible, and each of you for coming here to share and contribute in all this.
I extend to you my warmest greetings. Allow me, first of all, to express my sincere thanks to the organizers of this conference for the warm welcome we received upon our arrival in Kigali. This city, which has become a living symbol of resilience and renewal on our continent, provides a most fitting setting to inaugurate a new dynamic, long awaited and essential for Africa.
It's a great honor and privilege to welcome you all for the official inauguration of the International Security Conference on Africa, ISCA.
I am Amanda Bahenda, the voice you trust, the insight you need, and welcome to the program. The International Security Conference on Africa created a global platform where speaker after speaker reiterated the need to nurture practical local solutions to contemporary security challenges on the continent.
In the context of a dynamic and complex global environment, the International Security Conference on Africa was born out of a shared vision to create a platform where Africans and our partners come together to deliberate on our unique security challenges and foster homegrown, practical, and sustainable solutions.
The forum was not only timely but long overdue, according to His Excellency Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda.
Africa's future, particularly in matters of peace and security, cannot be outsourced. For far too long, our security has been treated as a burden to be managed by others, with the minimal input from us, and often without the benefit of our context or consent. This approach has failed to deliver both for Africa and for the world. What begins here is more than a conference. It is a deliberate effort to change both the narrative and the substance of how Africa engages with the global security debates.
For far too long, our continent has felt the need for a permanent strategic space dedicated to in-depth reflection and ongoing dialogue on peace and security issues. At a time when systems of governance are faltering under the weight of widespread instability and growing uncertainty, Africa must be able to rely on a platform rooted in its own realities, responsive to its specificities, and driven by a shared ambition.
Moving forward, we must participate not from the margins, but as a credible and capable partner.
Following the key speakers, the focus shifted to the core issues defining Africa's security agenda. Speakers and panelists tackled a range of urgent topics, from regional instability and cyber threats to the impacts of climate change, all underscoring a common message. Africa's security must be shaped by African solutions.
I want to say how tremendous it is to sit here in a conference for Africa by Africa. And it gives us that latitude to think freely and to not have to answer to any other interests except our own. And this is more rare than it would appear, because the troubles that Africa is facing are both made from within our own contradictions internally, in the structure of the African state, in the incentives of the political class, and the levels of competence that are available in terms of governing. And it is also the interaction with global forces and with actors who seek to intervene in different ways, whether it be political, commercial, or security. Perhaps the most benefit in terms of this particular remark is to build on our former chairperson's remark on responsibility. Julie, for the 2 years I recall being in the UN Security Council, I was exposed to many files, many African files as they're treated in the Security Council. And what I discovered is that to be free and to be secure is extremely demanding. As a government and as the leaders of governments, you need to have extreme levels of attentiveness, strategic thinking, and a complete rejection of domination of your mind and your intentions. And you have to do that not once in a while, you have to do that every single day. The sheer pressure to be competent and to be independent is overwhelming. And that is why the most necessary measures we need to take in the next coming years is to essentially begin to reshape the incentives of leadership and to raise a new generation of African leaders who are ready to stand in the pressure room. Because to lead your country in Africa towards security and towards prosperity requires special qualities that few single people have. It is usually groups of people. and how to produce them, how to motivate them, how to incentivize them, how to identify them and develop them is the most pressing challenge that we have today.
Regarding Africa, let me come back to what President Kagame said this morning. He talked about ownership, the relationship between governance and security, and the necessity of cooperation. African states themselves, because the history of this continent that has been occupied, creating a system, a social system and a political system inherited from colonization, this same continent, does it have appropriate institutions? We should ask ourselves these questions. Now, regarding the correlation between governance and security, if the population does not accept the system, it generates itself insecurity. And third, we are 50 countries in Africa. We can't each individually guarantee our own security. That's why we need to cooperate sub-regionally and continentally.
Just like all of you, I listened very carefully to His Excellency President Kagame's important speech. I cannot agree with him more when he said African security cannot be outsourced. I think President Kagame is not only a great leader of Rwanda, he's a great leader of Africa, and is a great statesman in the world of today. Now, when you say you cannot outsource security to other countries, in a sense, it means Africa needs to use your own brain power to make up your own judgment. In the world of today, you hear a lot of talks about whether, Africa should be forced to make a choice between China versus the United States. I think that's the wrong choice. The real choice for Africa, as well as for the rest of mankind, is whether the United States is doing the right thing or is doing the wrong thing, or whether China is doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing. If the United States is doing the right thing, work with the United States. But if the United States is doing the wrong thing, why should you bother about working with the United States or following its leadership? Similarly, if China is doing the right thing, why don't you want to work with China? And, God forbid, if China is doing the wrong thing, why should you work with China? That means African countries, people in Africa, need to use their own brain power to make a decision first, whether this country or that country is doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Don't be forced by any other country to make a choice which will not serve your fundamental interest.
As an African, in response to your Libya comments, I just have a few questions. They don't need to be answered, but they need to be asked. Who will write the history? Who will write the history of what happened in Libya? Africa must. Africa must write its own history. Maybe others will do the same, but already you are hearing from His Excellency Moussa Faki what they saw. What was the role of Africa and African leaders, and why could international actors not give them the respect of sitting at the table with African leaders? That was the least that could have been done. What is the standard of living for Libyans today? Is it better today than it was before the attack? Is Libya secure today? Are the neighbors of Libya secure today? And the final question, who earns from Libya's resources? Libya was a wealthy nation, oil producing. Who earns today? Do we know in this room where Libya's money goes? Africa. Africa. We have to ask the questions.
It's true that Africa has a lot to do, and it's true that it's also true that part of it it is up to Africa. The other part is up to the rest of the world, specifically Africa's partners. And I'd like to start where I should probably end the conversation. I mean, nobody expects anybody to come and join the negotiation table all by themselves. Africa needs to take its place that it deserves, which ought to have been the case a long time ago, since a long time ago. But within exchange and speeches that we heard this morning, the opening remarks, I mean, as Africans, we need to internalize the fact that our part is the most important.
While the conference delivered powerful conversations on Africa's evolving security landscape, it was the exhibition hall that brought those ideas to life. Leading organizations and innovators showcased cutting-edge technologies and security solutions.
There are many alternative solutions that Aselsan can provide for the African countries, and in the portfolio of Aselsan there are 6 different fields of activities. The first of all is integrated defense system technologies, where we have integrated air defense system solution, command and control solution, remote to control weapon system solution. All of them can be fitted for the different needs and requirements of the African territory, African region. And at the same time, we have radar and electronic warfare solutions for airspace, air surveillance, and at the same time some intelligence and electronic attack systems. We have communication and information technologies, and we are able to provide a nationwide system solution to meet the tactical and technical requirement of the end user, and we provide secure, reliable and voice and data communication in the tactical field. And we have microelectronics and guidance systems and avionics, and we are able to upgrade, modernize any platform in the inventory of the Rwanda Air Force and also the other countries.
A state-owned military supplier, especially for the logistics item and individual protective items and equipment for army and for police. And we are so happy that we got this opportunity to display our products here for ISCA. For me, we think this organization is really perfectly well organized. So we wish a great success to this forum.
I am because you are. This timeless African proverb reminds us that our strengths and identity are deeply connected to one another. It is through working together that the continent can overcome its challenges and build lasting peace and prosperity. As we reflect on these important conversations, Julie Gishuru, the President and CEO of the Africa Leadership and Dialogue Institute, left us with an important question.
Who will write the history?
Well, I'll leave you with that to ponder about, and you can share with us your thoughts. With that, we have come to an end of this week's edition of In Focus right here on EAMG TV, and make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. I am Amanda Bahenda, and goodbye for now.
Gateway to East Africa.
In the same energy you're seeing failure, please try to see success, because it's there. I tell people the coin is two-sided. You have one side of the coin which is telling you will fail, but there's another coin that tells you no, you can do it. Listen to that one.
This training is really helpful because it helps us to communicate effectively.
I had a lot of favorite parts in this training, but if I could only stick to one favorite part, that part was the part of answering difficult problems from different journalists. And if you're someone that wants to learn a lot, I could recommend you to seek for this training.
We have to dream big, right? But we cannot achieve what we dream of if we continue to sleep. We have to wake up from that dream and then walk the talk to achieve those dreams that we have.
If you want to connect with your audience or the person you're speaking to, try to make them feel you opened up to them. And if you told them your personal story, then it means you're really passionate about this thing that you do.
And authority. You see what I did there? Seriousness and authority. This is a very important thing actually I'm saying now. You see what I did there? When you take a low pitch, the room settles. The room feels this is now serious. He or she is going to say something important.
I was very excited to get the trainings that were carried out by Eugene Anangwe. So I think my biggest experience is basically to understand what you normally do, but without knowing what could be the other impact on the other side. But based on the training now, it will help me to stabilize what will be the right information that I should be sharing or not necessarily sharing, or how can you do it strategically, or how can it be helpful for the other person that you are talking with.
In a world where media shapes perceptions, one company stands out as a beacon of innovation and excellence. Whether you're seeking expert media support, events planning, mentorship, or corporate media training, East Africa Media Group is your trusted partner every step of the way. From audiovisual production to TV and radio broadcasting.
Right here from
we are your destination for top quality content and services. Our team of talented professionals, from journalists
free and moving well.
To technical specialists, are at the heartbeat of our success. Welcome to East Africa Media Group, where creativity meets expertise and passion drives results.